Tonight's performance contains material that will be troubling for younger or more sensitive viewers. During the performance, actors will be entering and exiting through the audience, so please be aware of your surroundings. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the heavy breath is done, and when the battle must be won. Set to the air, the center side. Where the place? Upon the heath. There to be with Macbeth. There is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and fill the air.
What bloody man is that? He can report, it seemeth by his plight, of the revolt the late estate. This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplied villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallowglasses is supplied, and fortune, on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak, for brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, sustaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman!
As whence the sun gins his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. So from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with firmest arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Made not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes. As sparrows eagles, or as the hare the lion, if I say sooth, they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. But I am weak. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become me as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons! Who comes here? The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king!
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted them with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing their lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Killing swine! Sister, I know! Look what I have! Show me! Show me! Here I have a pirate slum, wrapped in homeward Egypt come. A drum, Macbeth.com! The weirdnesses hand in hand, posters on the sea and land. Thus you go about, thrice denied and thrice denied and thrice again to make up mine.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
What?
withered, and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, by each at once a choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips.
You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret it yourself. Speak, if you can.
What are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Gloves! All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor! All hail Macbeth! That shall be king!
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that sound so fair?
In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that name without really a show? My noble partner, incredible grace,
And great prediction of noble having and of royal hope.
but he seems whacked withal.
To me you speak not.
If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hates.
Hail! Hail! No, lesser than Macbeth, and greater. Not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo! Banquo and Macbeth! Oh,
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Steinel's death, I know I am Thane of Globs, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you gain this strange intelligence, and why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such pathetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles, as the water has. And these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what had seemed corporal melted like breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten up the insane brute that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
The self-same tune in words. Who's there?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal ventures in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. Everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor. Hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him.
Glom's and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thank you for your pains. Do you not hope that your children will be kings, when those that gave Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. Thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why had it given earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock against my ribs against the use of nature?
present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes, so that my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look at our apartment's wrapped.
Why, if chance may have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon me.
Like our strange garments, that cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Come, let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced here. Upon the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very gladly.
So then enough.
Come, friends.
His execution done on Cawdor? Nothing in his life made him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed as for a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face.
There was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, valiant cousin, even now the sin of my ingratitude was heavy on me, though it's so far before that even swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Hadst thou been less deserved, that the honor of both thanks and payment might have been mine. All I have left to say, more is thy due than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne, state children and servants who do but what they should by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou hadst no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee close to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose placest are the nearest, know that we will establish our estate upon our elder.
Malcolm!
We shall name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, an honor which must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all
Deservers, from hence
to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
the rest is labor which is not useful.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach.
My worthy Carter.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down on or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, that not night see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye does fear when it is done to see.
True, Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time, with Hail, King that shalt be. This I have thought good to deliver to thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glums thou art, and Cador, and shall be what thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Oh, thou wouldst be great. Art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. But thou wouldst highly, thou wouldst holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Oh, thou'dst have great Glums, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it. And that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirit in thine ears, and chastise thee with the valor of my tongue, all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings? The king comes here tonight. Thou'rt mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who were it so would have informed for preparation? So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Oh, come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glums, worthy Cador, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in an instant.
Dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow as he purposes.
Never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters, to beguile the time, like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this nice great business into my dispatch, which shall, for all our nights and days to come, give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We shall speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet does approve. This bird hath made its pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they breed and haunt most, I've observed, the air is delicate. Oh, see our honored hostess!
All our services in every point done, twice done, and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the fate of Cador? We'd coursed him at the heels and had purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides swift, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath helped him to his home before us. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces toward him. By your leave, hostess.
If we're done,
When 'tis done, 'Twere well it were done quickly. This assassination might be the be-all and the end-all here. This even-handed justice must condemn the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman, his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderers shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off. I have no spur to prick the side of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it supped since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like a poor cat in the adage?
I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place to them it here, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I so sworn as you had done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather his day's hard journey shall soundly lighten, his two chamberlains, while I with wine and with sails, so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be but a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lies as if in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great quarrel?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boys?
Down. I haven't heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take his later.
Hold. Take my sword. A heavy summons weighs like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword! Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal, by name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
'Tis Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, or else free should have wrought. All's well.
I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words on that business if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you would cleave to my consent, so it would make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear.
Repose the while.
The like to you.
Go bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. This a dagger I see before me. The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false vision proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as that which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fool of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade indulging gouts of blood which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now o'er the one-half world nature seems dead. Wicked dreams abuse the curtain's sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings. And withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel the wolf, who howls his watch, moves with a stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm said earth, hear not my steps, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and bring the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deed, to cold breath gives. I go when it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. 'Twas thou that shrieked, that fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. Here's about it. The doors are open and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, the death in nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
What? Oh!
Rock, I'm afraid they have awaked and 'tis not done. Oh, the attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers at the ready, could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak?
When?
No.
As I descended?
I.
Hark. Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
As one did laugh and sleep and one cried murder, but they did wake each other. I stood and watched them, and they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
As one did cry, God bless us, and amen the other. And they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fears. I could not pronounce amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
Wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These things must not be thought out in these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard the voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep.
What do you mean?
It cried from all the house, sleep no more. Brahms hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, what pain you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why? Bring the daggers from the place! They must lie there! Go, carry them and smear the sleeping groom with blood!
I go no more. I am afraid to think of what I have done. Look, I dare not.
Income of purpose! Give me the daggers! The sleeping and the dead are as good pictures! If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the brooms without, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ah. They plucked out my eyes. Will Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand will gather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our bedchamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Go get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us the watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deeds were best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking I would thou couldst.
There's a knocking. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have all turning the key.
Knock, knock.
Who's there in the name of Beelzebub?
Here's a foreigner that hangs himself on the expectation of going back.
Enough about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there? Other devil's name. Here's the equivocator. It can swear both skills against either skill. Look at him, treason enough for God's sake. You cannot equivocate to heaven. Oh, God, not equivocate to
Knock, knock. Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of French hours.
Taylor, you may roast your goose.
Knock, knock. Never quiet. What are you?
This place is too cold for hell. Devil porter and no further.
I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire.
Anon.
I pray you.
Remember the
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, but we are carousing till the second cock.
And drink, sir, is a great promoter of three things. Three.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Mary, sir, nose painting,
Sleep and urine.
lechery. It provokes, and it unprovokes.
It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance.
Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him.
But it mars him.
It sets him on.
It sets him off.
It persuades him.
It disheartens him.
Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in his sleep and giving him the lie.
Leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, in very throat of it.
There, quite him for his life. And I think being too strong for him, but he took upon my legs sometime. Yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but it's one I'll be so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today.
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. From where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard of the air. Strange screams of death and prophesying, with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events, new hats of the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
Oh, horror, horror! Neither tongue nor heart can conceive nor name thee!
What's the matter?
Now confusion hath made its masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stolen thence the life of the building.
What is you say? The life?
Mean you, His Majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy his sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Malcolm! Banquo! Donalbain! Up! Up! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep! Death's counterfeit and look upon death itself! Up and see the great doom's image! Walk like spikes from your graves! Your countenance is horror! Ring the alarm bell!
What's the business? Such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of this house. Speak! Speak!
Gentle lady, it's not for you to hear what I can speak. Its repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo. Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Whoa! Alas! What? In our house?
Cruel anywhere. Dear God, I pray thee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this moment, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees are left this vault to brag of.
What is the myth?
You are, and you do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
The royal father's murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it would seem, had done. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. No man's life is to be trusted with them.
And yet, I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them myself.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with golden blood, his gashed stab looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trades, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain, that had a heart to love, and in his heart courage to make his love known?
Look to the lady! Why do we hold our tongues, that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here where our fate hid in auger hole may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. When we have our naked frailties hid and suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
So do I.
So!
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall, together.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. Out to England.
To Ireland, our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the near bloody.
This murderous shaft as shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
Thou seest the heavens, is troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage. By the clock, 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling man. Is it night's predominance, or day's shame, that darkness should entomb the face of earth when living light should kiss it? 'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed. And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience, as if they would make war with mankind. 'Tis said they eat each other. Here comes the good Macbeth. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why? See you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those Macbeth hath slain.
Last the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts on them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, worthless ambition, that will raven up thine own life's means. Then it is likely the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He has already gone to Scone to be invested.
Will you to Scone?
No cousin, I'll to Fife.
I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old roads sit easier than new.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor,
Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said that he should not stand in my posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, By the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well? And set me up in hope? But hush, no more. Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
Is far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
And here our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricides, and filling their hearers with strange invention. Hie you to your horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses sure and swift of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the talisman.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which should be feared. There's none but he whose being I do fear, for under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. And prophet-like, they hailed him a father to a line of kings. Upon my brow they put a brutalist crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, with no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind, for them the gracious Duncan have I murdered, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. If it be so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now, go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday when last we spoke?
Was. So please, your highness.
Well then now, have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in times past which held you so under fortune, which you had thought had been our innocent self.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Is your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, when his heavy hand hath bowed your life to the grave, and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue you go for men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it. And I will put that business in your bosom, whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which, in his death, were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have me so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disaster, togged with misfortune, that I would set my life on any chance, to mend it or be rid on it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance but every minute of his being thrust against my nearest delight. And though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight, and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not yet drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives...
Your spirit shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves. Acquaint with you the perfect spy of the time. A moment on it, for it must be done tonight. And something from the castle, methought I always require a clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs, no botches in his work, Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace that dark fate of that hour. Resolve yourselves upon it.
We resolve, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court? Aye, madam, but returns again tonight. Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words. Madam, I will. Not had all spent or our desires got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which indeed should have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. Better to be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than to torture the mind and lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy. Nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors to these flattery-free streams, and make our faces visards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his Fleance live.
But in the nature's copies not return.
Why, there's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou Jacun. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons, the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hum, there shall be done a deed of dreadful night.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of that knowledge, dearest Chuck, for thou applaudst the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Night thickens, and the crow takes wing to the rooky wood. Good things a day begin to droop and drowse, though night's dark agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, yet hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
join with us.
Macbeth!
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our officers in what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. Celeste yet glimmers with some streaks of day, and now spurs the lated traveler apace to gain the timely inn. And near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses. Give him the light there. Out!
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. But he does usually. So all men do. From hence to the palace gate make it their walk.
A light! A light!
15.
Stand to it!
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down!
Treachery!
Who did strike out the light?
Was it not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled.
We have lost this half of our affair.
Well, let's away and say how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thanks, dear Majesty.
Be large in mirth, and anon we'll drink a measure of the table round. There's blood on my face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo is safe?
Aye, my lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes in his head. The least of death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature in time, venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrancer.
Now, good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roof, with a grace person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please, your highness, to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou cannot say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, his highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and hath been from his youth. I pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. Feed and regard him not.
Are you a man?
And a bold one that dare look upon that which might appall the devil!
Oh, proper stuff! This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Of these plotting starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? Look up at a stool!
Look! Behold! Oh, what say you? Why, what care I? If thou cannot, thou speak to.
What, quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame!
Blood hath been shed ere now in the olden time, and humane statue purged the gentle wheel. And since too, murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My noble lord, your worthy friends do lack you.
I do forget.
Do not muse at me, most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, and then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here! To him and all we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge!
Avaunt and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless. Thy blood is cold! Thou hast no speculation behind those eyes, which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves will never tremble, or be alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword, and horrible shadow hence, unreal mockery hence! I shall be gone. I am a man again. I pray you sit still.
You have disgraced the name, broke the good meaning with most
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I own. And now I think you can behold such sights and still keep the naturality of your cheeks, a man ablaze with fear! Hey!
I pray you, speak not! He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health than tended men.
Kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send him, sir?
I can't, by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will again to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For my own good, all causes shall give way. I am steeped in blood, so far that should I rave no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange thoughts I have in head that will to hand, which must be acted, ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Now, and at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither he shall come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything else beside. I am but for the wind. I'll spend this night unto a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon hangs a vapor's drop profound. I'll catch it here, come to ground, and that, distilled by magic sleight, shall raise artificial sprites. And by the strength of their illusion, he shall be drawn into his own confusion. He shall scorn fate, scorn death, and buries hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Hark! I am called, my
my little spirit see, sits on a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Come, sisters, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
Kings have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth, married he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought of how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact. And how did it grieve Macbeth? Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear, who were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for it would have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say he has borne all things well, and I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, that they would know what were to kill a father. So should Fleance. But peace, for from broad words, and cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, do you know where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid to wake Northumberland in warlike seaward. That, by the help of these, and with him above to ratify our work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets' bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff? He did. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold the message ere he come, that soon a swift blessing may soon befall this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Be a 30-minute intermission.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad that on the cold stone, days and nights at 31. Sweltered venom, sleeping gods boil thou thirst in a charming pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire-bearing cauldron ball.
Billy, up the baby, in the cauldron for the face. Full of fat and tongue of dung, added pork and privacy. Lizards, legs, and howls and swings. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a rock
After having solved C-sharp, root of hammer, dipped in the dark. Finger of the strangled vein, dips delivered by a drum, make the gruel thick and slam. And thereto a tiger's children, all ingredients of a cauldron. Double, toiling trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a bathing blood, then charm it for good.
Oh, well done! I prevent your pains, and everyone shall share in the games. And know about the cauldron, sing like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
How now, you secret midnight hags, what is't you do?
A deed without a name!
I conjure you by that which you profess. However you come to know it, answer me.
Face the man! What answer? Sayest thou would rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters?
Coleman, let me see.
Those blood that has eaten her 9 barrows. Grief that fled the murders given. Throw into the flames! Come high or low, thyself in office doubtly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thoughts. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth. Macbeth. Macbeth! Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife.
Thou hast harked my fear, all right. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another more potent than the first.
Macbeth. Macbeth. Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
And live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? And yet I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live to tell pale-hearted fear lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it!
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who threats, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be! Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet bodements good. Rebellious dead, rise never till the word of Burnham rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall live his lease of nature to pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in his kingdom?
Seek to know no more!
I will be satisfied! Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on all of you. Let me know.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart! Come like shadows, so depart!
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs. Hags, why do you show me this? Of course. The 7th. And yet an eighth appears. And now I see 'tis truth. The blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon them and points at them for his. What, is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. So I dance Macbeth thus amazingly! Now, sisters, cheer up and sprite and show the best of our delight. I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antic round. That this great king may kindly say, our duty did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? At this pernicious hour, stand I accursed in the calendar. Who's there? Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damn all those that trust them! I did hear the galloping of a horse. Who was it that came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macbeth is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is overtook unless the deed go with it. From this very moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now to crown my thoughts with act, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Give to the edge of his sword his wife, his babes, and all those unfortunate souls that trace him in line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. No more sense. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me before them.
To make him fly the land.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. But our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom! To leave his wife, his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love, as little as the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further. But cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves, when we hold rumor from fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at their worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessings upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless. I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace, your discomfort. I take my leave at once. Sirrah, your father is dead. What shall you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
That's what I get. I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou dost not fear the net, nor the line, the pitfall, nor the gin.
Why should I? Poor birds they're not set for. My father's not dead, for all you say.
Aye, he is dead. And how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how wilt thou do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
And you'll buy them to sell again.
No, why, thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, he was a traitor.
And what is a traitor?
Aye, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swears are fools, for they're liars and swears enough to beat and hang up the honest men.
Now God help thee, poor monkey! But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If he were not, it'd be a good sign that I should quickly get a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkest!
Bless you, fair dame, if you would take a holy man's advice. Be not found here, hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse your fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But then I remember I am in this cruel world. For to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometimes accounted a dangerous folly. Why then do I put up my womanly defenses to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He is a traitor.
Thou liest, the shaggy villain.
Ah! What, you egg? No!
He's killing my father. Run away, I pray you.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall in birthdom.
What I believe, I'll wail. What know, believe. And what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is.
I've lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Oh, bleed, bleed, poor country! Great tyranny, lay thou thy bases shore, for goodness dare not check thee. Fare thee well, lord, the title is afeard. I would not be the villain thou think'st for the entire space within the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever, by him that shall succeed.
Not all the legions of horrid hell can come a devil damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name.
But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours.
With this, there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels, and this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice grows deeper, it sticks with more pernicious root than summer-seeming lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. But do not fear, Scotland hath foisons enough to fill up your will of your mere own.
Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland, all nation miserable, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since the truest issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction, stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed? Thy father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener on her knees than on her feet, died every day that she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatst against thyself hath banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Seward with 10,000 warlike men already at a point was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile. My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither. Stands Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rent the air are made, not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why? Well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant is not battered at their peace?
Nay, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not miserly of your speech. How goes it?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have so heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy men that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather for that the tyrant's power was afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland could create soldiers, make women fight to tough their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out into the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some specific breast?
Share some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me.
Let not your ears despise my tongue, when they shall possess you with the heavy sound that ever yet they heard. Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babe savagely slaughtered. To relate this were on the manner of these murdered deer to add the like of you.
Merciful heaven! What man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
All my children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. Did you say all? Oh, hellkite, all? What? All my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop!
Dispute it like a man!
I will do so, but I must also feel it as a man! I cannot but remember that which was most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? O sinful Macbeth, they were struck for thee. Not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger.
Bring me this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come! Go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and then again return to bed. Yet all this when I'm most fast asleep.
A great perturbation in nature. To receive at once the benefit of sleeping and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
Nay, to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone.
having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close. How came she by that light? Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command. You see, her eyes are open. Aye, but their senses are shut. What is it she does now? Look at how she rubs her hands. It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here is a spot.
She speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damned spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and afeard. What need we to fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Oh, yet you would have thought the old man would have so much blood in him! The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord! No more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not. She has spoke what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
No, here's the smell of blood still. The perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body. This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out in one's grave.
And so?
To bed, to bed. I hear a knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine, the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her.
The English power is near, led by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burn in them for their dear causes, would to the bleeding and to the grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them.
Who knows if Donald Bane be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the bout of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Who?
Then shall blame his pest senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there.
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour we in our country's purge, each drop of us!
Or so much as it needs, to do the sovereign flowers and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
For Duncan and Malcolm!
Aye!
Bring me no more reports! Let them fly all! Burnham would remove to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy, Malcolm? Is he not born of woman? Aye, and the spirits that know all mortal consequence have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth! No man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly, Volstains, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. Where gotst thou that goose look?
There are 10,000
Geese, villain?
soldiers, sir.
Lily livered boy. Death of thy soul. Those linen cheeks of thine are the very counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force. So pleasing.
Take thy face hence. Season! I am sick at heart when I behold. Season, I say! This push will cheer me ever or to seat me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf. And that which should accompany old age is honor, love, obedience. Troops of friends I would look on not to have, but in their stead curses, not loud but deep. Mouth, honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, and dare not. Season!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my flesh my bones be hacked. Give me my armor.
It is not needed yet.
I'll put it on! Send out more horses. Stir the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor. How's your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord. She is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from rest.
Cure her of that. Throw physic to the dog. I'll none of it. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health. I'll applaud thee, to the very echo that I should applaud again. What rhubarb, senna, or purgative drug would scour these English hence? Bring it after me. I will not fear death or bane till Burnham would come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
Doubt it nothing. What wood is this before us? The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery err in report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, though certain strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war!
Hang out our banners on the outward wall. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie, to the famine and ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should have been ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord!
I have almost forgotten the taste of fears. The time has been when my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors, but iron is familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that crying?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in his petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays are blighted fools, away to dusty death. Out. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. Poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I come to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I shall report that of which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say it.
As I did, stand my watch upon the hill. I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar!
Let me endure your wrath. Be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming.
I say a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree thou shalt hang alive till famine claim thee. Fear not till Burnham would remove to Dunsinane, and now a wood do come to Dunsinane. On and out! That which he avouches does appear. There is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! The wind, come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are.
Very well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Let the trumpets speak! Give them all breath! Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death!
For Scotland!
For Scotland!
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear like I must fight the course. Who's he that was not born of woman? Such a man I am to fear, or else none.
What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
No, although thou callest thyself a harder name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, abhorrent tyrant. With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speaks.
Thou wast born of woman!
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn. Brandished by a man, that shall a woman born!
This way the noise is. Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou be slain and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else with unbattered oars I sheathe my sword again undeeded. Give me him, fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day itself almost professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword, while I see lives their gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back! My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out!
Thou losest labor, as easy mayest thou entrench it there with thy keen sword impressed as make me bleed. Yet let thy blade fall on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of a woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel who thou still hast served tell thee Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me this, for it hath cowed my better part of man. Be these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our heart. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant!
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and be baited by the rebel's course. Though Burnham would do come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Upon my body I throw my warlike shield. So, lay on, Macduff, and damn be he that first cries hold. Enough!
Your noble son is missing.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, the which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but, like a man, he died.
Then he is dead.
Aye, and brought off the field. But you must not measure your sorrow by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Why then, God's soldier must he be. If I had as many sons as I had hairs, I would wish no fairer death on them. And so, his knell is knolled. And here comes newer comfort!
Hail, King, for so thou art! Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head! Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, with self and violent hands took off her life. This and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us, crowned at Scone.